Hello and good evening and welcome to Wise Words with Eldad and Kayinsola, and we have some special guests here today. Today we're just going to be talking about kind of relationships and like children. Obviously we have two mothers with us today.
We have two sisters with us
Okay,
today.
two sisters, sorry.
We're all sisters in the Lord.
Amen.
But we are still going to be talking about family nonetheless. Have you guys ever heard of the empty nest syndrome? You have?
We have.
What have you heard about this empty nest syndrome?
That's when everybody is gone
Mm-hmm.
and you are just left with the old guy.
Ah.
Pretty much.
Wait. That's a very specific description. Auntie, what else have you heard about empty nest syndrome?
Anything? And Auntie Sister Efua was pretty on the head with her response. Empty nest syndrome is when the nest has been emptied. If you're a mother and father, all your children have left, whether they're going to school, university, whether they're married, they've gone. And if you're a mother, in that case, you're stuck with the old guy. as Sister Efua put it.
I love that phrasing.
That's your dad.
We're not talking about my parents. My dad's not old. But how do you feel when the new term approaches? We've talked about how we feel when we start getting ready for school and when we start having to leave.
Because sometimes you're ready to leave the home.
Because for us, we're ready to leave the nest.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. But so I want to get a parent's perspective on how.
How do you feel when your children, even just starting? So, for example, now your child has reached a new chapter. They've started secondary school. How has that felt for you?
Exciting. Even though you're going to miss them. Like, I used to take my son to school every morning. But now I don't. I'm only left with Shalom. It's not the same. Every morning I know he's around. He will take care of Shalom whilst I do other things. But now he's gone. And Shalom said, "Oh, just as they are gone."
And then there were two. Well, that shows that you learn to really appreciate your children, which I think is nice to hear from a children's perspective.
I know. I think it is.
It seems that distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Makes the heart grow fonder. So for children wanting a bit more fondness,
also distance too, as well. I think
so. You do start to miss them more. Did you go to a boarding school, or did you school away from home?
Boarding school.
Did you feel that you missed your home, or were you just excited to start something new?
Well, I always miss home. And I never wanted to go back to school.
The feeling's mutual sometimes.
So did you ever beg to stay at home?
When I'm settled in school, I'm fine. But the process of preparing and going back to school.
The journey.
Yes, the journey, because I used to journey 4 hours to school.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot.
I live in the west and I was school in the east, so it's not the same. The journey to school, and my school was on top of a mountain.
This sounds
On
like
top of a mountain.
This sounds like when I was
when
in
I was
school,
younger,
I had to
used
cross
travel
3 rivers with your auntie on my back.
Right. We had to trek through the waters with no water in my with no food.
And all this water,
I used to
you
travel
couldn't drink
5
it, so
hours to school. Yeah, no, that's what that sounds like.
So as soon as my dad starts climbing the mountain, the car starts going around the mountain, I say, okay, we're getting into reality. My dad said, you guys are back to prison.
Well, that doesn't help, surely.
No, because he knows that we'll miss home. And we look forward to them visiting us every week. I mean...
Every week?
Yes.
What were you missing then?
Food.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
My dad used to visit us a week, during the week, especially when we go from year one or the first year. And my grandma would visit us. They were alternating, so it was nice. But sometimes I will be there, and then my name will be called, your dad is here.
Best
Sometimes
feeling.
it's not a Saturday, but he just came to Accra or closer, so he will buy, he will come with shopping and food and things. So it was exciting.
Fathers, take note.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Bring your children food. That's
And
what-
gifts.
And
Every
And
time you
gifts.
see them.
I agree.
Yeah.
I concur. I think
he enjoyed coming to see us all the time. So he would come with gifts and we would talk. And sometimes too, we wouldn't see him. He would just drop the gifts and then he would ask people, do you know this child? He's my child. How is he like in school? That's my dad for you. So he knows things about you without knowing. So you always have to behave.
knowing your children, that's such a that's such an interesting one, because I've heard, like, from my friends that I've met and like just people that I've met generally, as kind of seems like they feel as though their parents don't know them personally, so they don't, it's not that they don't have a relationship with their child, but they don't know what their child's personality is. They feel that they don't know their child like as a person. And I think that's something that can change when you grow up, and that's something that parents have the opportunity to change as your child grows up. And I think if you feel like you don't know your child when they're younger, I think I would definitely put in the effort to know your child and to get to know your child, because they're raised by you, but they might have different personality traits. You might actually become, I'm going to say friends, because your parents are not your friend, but you become friends with them as you grow up.
That's very, very true. I know for me, at a young age, I never thought I would say, my parents are my friends. Because you have your parents, you have your friends, those are mutually exclusive.
Exactly.
But I've definitely found that as you grow up, I found that I talk to my parents more. I feel that I can talk to them about pretty much everything. Sometimes I'll have to go to one parent for one issue and then the other parent for another thing. Because, parents have different personalities. Sometimes I might need a firm hand or
So which one do you go?
We don't need to get into specifics.
No, I think it would be interesting.
We've got an audience.
Let's go into it. So which one would you go to for, like, first? Well, okay, which is the personality difference between the two?
Why are you putting on the spot? Is this payback?
No. I mean,
Okay. What's the personality difference? Is that your question?
Yes.
I would say that one parent probably has a firmer hand, will tell me what I need to hear, whether I want to hear it or not, and will give me their opinion, full stop. Sometimes you ask something and you want an opinion. You don't want to be asked back. But how would you look? I've already looked at it, which is why I'm asking you for another angle. The other parent is patient, more patient.
I think we figured it out now. We figured out who is who. That was very telling. That was very telling.
Oh, goodness. I knew I should have stopped myself ahead of time.
Any of our sermons, you'll know which one is which.
Anyway, I think, sometimes if you have a situation, I think from any age, if you feel the need to rant about something or blow off some steam, that's the parent I'm going to go to. One, because they'll listen, and even if they're not listening, I feel that they make it look like they are. So I feel like stuff is getting off my chest. But equally, it depends on what kind of advice. Social advice, another parent. Academic advice, another parent. If I want someone to pity me small and feel sorry for me, one parent. For example, when we used to have to do cross country, and I was like 10, and I remember some people were having music lessons scheduled into cross country time.
That's smart.
So that they didn't have to do cross country.
That's so smart. I would have done that. Oh.
Some children were going up to matron and be like, I've got a bit of a headache. But I couldn't lie. So I was like, Daddy, I hate cross country.
So I would
write me a note. or book me some music lessons. I don't care what, trumpet, bassoon, guitar,
saxophone, violin, anything,
cello, just get me. And he'd be like, oh, and that parent would say, just run. It will be over soon.
That sounds like,
that's not what I want to hear. So I would go to the parent that doesn't like sport. He would be like, oh, that's ridiculous. Why would they make you run for more than 1 minute? And I can go, yes, thank you. So it's good. The same way your parents understand you, you need to understand your parents. I think, no, as children.
As children, you need to understand
your parents.
You need to know who is who and who is not who.
He wears the trousers. Yeah. Not necessarily. That was just a little joke.
It's nice talking to you. I think we are also learning, isn't it?
It's definitely something that grows with time. So don't be disheartened or discouraged if, as a parent, you're looking at your child or trying to talk to your child and nothing is coming back. I know I would never say that I was a perfect child growing up, but I think I've got a really, really good relationship with my parents now. So, yeah. Would you say the same?
I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah.
I just think it's easier. I think also the age gap is always going to be the same, but as a child grows, they understand more where their parents are coming from. I'm sure there's something that your parents, there's something that your parents used to tell you that would make you want to roll your eyes, not in front of them, but maybe if you just do it quick and then look back.
Don't understand me.
I think as you were saying, one thing I'll never forget is the kind of shoes my mom used to buy for me.
Ooh.
She used to buy Clarks.
Oh, Clarks.
And I hated the word Clarks. Because she would buy the Clark shoe for all of us, then she would buy shoe polish. And you can wear that shoe for 1 year and you're still wearing Clarks. Now, I see my friends who don't wear Clarks. And every time they change shoes. But I can't change Clarks because Clarks grows with your leather. I don't know how it happens, but because it's leather. So I was telling my mom that there's something I hated wearing, Clarks. And she knows how to go for the good ones that will last. And we used to laugh at each other because my sister had this Clarks shoe. We used to drum with the shoe.
Wow.
Just trying to tell her that it's durable. This die-hard shoe. She will wear it forever. Something like that. But I find myself buying the same for my children.
Wow.
I was just about to say, when your parents would tell you, oh, you're going to grow into this, and you're walking around with sleeves down to your ankles. The
trouser will be on the floor like
tied down to your knees.
You're going to grow into it. But it makes sense.
But now, I know that I'm not buying... by God's grace, when I have a child, I'm not going to be buying new clothes every week. I'm definitely buying you the size up, and you're going to grow.
Children grow so fast.
They grow so fast.
Crazy.
But how did you feel when your mom was buying oversized shoes for you?
Well, obviously, it's not ideal. I would say, being the older sister, I didn't experience as much hand-me-downs. I'm sure if we had this conversation with my younger sister, she would have a lot more to say because I could say, oh, mummy, I need a jumper, and she would get me a jumper. And then as soon as I don't like that jumper anymore, straight to the sister, whether she likes it or not. But I would say I understand better now the things she would tell me or show me or do for me. Like making me finish all my food. That was a chore.
Now that I think about it, I don't think I was that bad.
Excuse me, I was.
I'm thinking about it.
It depends what you've had to eat.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I was pretty good.
You used to have rice and ketchup.
I was thinking about that. I used to have some weird food combinations, but I always finished it.
That's because you chose it. It's when I'm giving food that I don't like.
There's still some stuff that you can't get over, like chicken. Like, you know when... I could already see it. Like chicken, when you're getting to the bone, sometimes I can only get to a certain bit of the bone, not all of the cracking.
I can hear.
The,
I can hear
can't
my
do that.
elders literally cracking. It's biscuit bone. Biscuit bone.
And then you start sucking the bone marrow. No, sorry, that's not. That's not
I
for
remember
me.
about my mom is, if it's potato she's cooking or yam or anything, she will ask everybody, how many slices do you want to eat?
That's smart.
So if you say 2, she will do 2. So you can't say you won't finish it.
That's very smart.
But then
Yes,
what
that's
if you
what she
decide
does.
if you want more, like halfway through
What
it's
she
cooking?
does, she'll put extras.
Oh, okay.
But
in your plate.
on your plate, it is 2 or 3. And my mom, you can't mess around with my mom. So you better finish your food. And she won't smile, so you just get on with it.
I've got so many childhood stories. I really didn't finish a lot of food. But now, because of it, I'm not very picky. So there's a silver lining. But at the time, oh my goodness, longest evenings of my life. I remember the first time I had to finish a bowl of tomato soup. And it was only because my younger sister had been to nursery and they had bread and tomato soup for lunch. And she thought it was God's gift to mankind. So she came back saying, oh, we have to have tomato soup and bread. We have to have tomato soup and bread. And my mother listened to this 3-year-old and made the whole house eat. And I had a bigger bowl than her, and I didn't even like it.
Heinz tomato soup, or was it like homemade?
Who cares? It was... But now, I can eat without being picky, which is good. I know there's some... Because you learn a lot in your parents' households. You learn a lot under your parents and with your siblings and aunties and uncles and whoever, that when you go out into the real world, you notice are good traits, I guess, good behaviors. For example, I couldn't go to somebody else's house and be served something and look at it and go, yuck.
Yeah, no.
Give me something else. So sometimes if that was to happen to me, I would be shocked because it's not your house.
It's not.
But it's just little things like that you learn.
So I have a question for everyone. What is the most important kind of lesson that you've learned from your household?
We can start with you and
Auntie,
work our
I'll
way.
start with you.
What did you learn in your household? Anything?
Any lesson? Any minor lesson, major lesson?
Or were you born like this? Just born
Born
straight?
with wisdom. Born with wisdom.
Born with wisdom. I think this is one of those things where you can think of family traditions. So this is when you start finding like your niches, what's specific to your family. Because yours was shoes or something. And now you buy your kids shoes. What would you say that you've seen your grandparents teach your parents that now they teach you? Or you've heard them say, well, my father did it this way.
Oh, I don't know.
Dig deep. There must be something there.
Maybe I'm thinking about like polishing shoes. I think that's what my dad does. Polish a lot of shoes.
Fair enough.
I don't know. That just came into my mind. Like polishing shoes is always important. It's always important to look clean and neat.
That's
and
good.
presentable. So yeah.
Well, I think one thing I will never forget is my mom was brought up by her grandma, and she said, never borrow. Always be prepared. Live within your means. And don't go around asking people for salt, pepper, and things like that. Always be ready and prepared. Know what you have in your house and what you can make out of what you have. So that's what she taught my mom. And that's what my mom taught us. So if you go out asking people for biscuits, doing that, you come home, you'll be in big trouble. So she will tell you, eat in your house. Be content with what you have. Manage what you have. And then when you go out, behave yourself.
Skill. Behave yourself is a very strong theme, I would say, for all of us.
She was always watching. Went out, and you start misbehaving, she'll be staring at you.
Oh,
The mother's stare.
As soon as you see that look, you start checking yourself.
Sometimes you don't even need to see it. Like
you can feel it
in the back of your like, I don't know, your
you can
head
feel
is
right here.
And then you turn around, and then
lo and behold.
yeah.
I think if you're ever lost, just with your parents, just do something wrong and just wait to feel the stare and then just trace it back.
That's
to
smart,
wherever they
yeah.
are. I think that's quite good what your grandmother taught your mother and passed down to you. I think something you said is similar that I found in that, I think it was my mother's brother who taught her, eat in your house before you leave. It's not that when you step outside, then you're just asking everyone, oh, I'm so hungry.
Yeah.
Give me some of your crisps. Give me some of your... So learn to prepare yourself in your house before you step out into the world. And that's a bit like what your dad has said. He said being presentable. If you polish your shoes, when you step out, you don't have to be looking for polish because it's scuffed here, scuffed there. Just little things, being prepared, I would say.
And you don't look haggard.
And you don't look haggard or haphazard.
I love that word.
I love that word.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Little intonations in words. I say Claire instead of clear. And
Claire.
I think I still say swallow. But I think it's
swallow.
when you...
Oh, I say pepper instead. I don't know.
And pepper.
Yeah, I still don't.
Pepper.
Pepper, like
Pepper.
Salt and pepper.
Pepper. They're actually two different.
Pepper.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper.
Okay.
P-E-P-P-E-R.
But actually, you know what? I think pepper and pepper are two different things.
Pepper is hot.
Pepper, no, true. And pepper is the it's like stew. Before it's made stew, it's pepper.
Oh.
Then pepper is like the black pepper.
Yeah, for me,
English
pepper is black.
That's what that is.
We are all learning.
They're two different things.
Would you say that you guys are first generation? How does first generation work?
I was
we-
looking this up the other day. So first, in different countries, I think in the US, first generation means that your parents have migrated and you're the children that have lived there, like in the new country.
So the children are first generation. Or
Yes. So if you're a child of an immigrant, you're
Or
first generation. I think it's the same here, but I would say we're either first or second generation.
I think because you guys obviously, our parents, our parents were brought up in their respective countries, Nigeria, Ghana, whichever. And so what they learned in Nigeria and Ghana made sense in Nigeria and Ghana.
But
and they taught that to us in our houses.
Yeah.
And it didn't
In
always...
England.
In England.
And sometimes it doesn't completely translate over. But I think
Example?
I can't give any examples right now. But
There are some, but they're not coming at the
yeah,
minute.
there are definitely
walks
some.
across board.
Contentment.
Dressing well walks across board. Remember?
Remember who's
There are definitely lots of good... We're not saying they're bad.
No. There's a good ones, but there's
But a
some.
lot... For example, showering every day.
Is a good one.
That's what we learnt.
Oh, wait.
That's not what
Wait,
everybody
wait,
in
wait,
England
wait. Was
learned.
that a bad one?
Yeah,
or
that's a good thing.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay. Wait.
Just to be- As in, showering
Oh yeah. That.
is not... It's not a punishment. It's
I love showering. People don't like showering.
people shower like twice a week.
What? Wow. Okay. That's
For
the
me,
information.
my father showers in the morning and he
And in the
showers when he
evening.
gets home from work. So
Yeah.
even 2 showers isn't uncommon to me. But
That's-
no showers.
A
that's
day?
A day.
Wow.
I think as you said, we were brought up like that. We came from a hot climate.
Mm-hmm.
So you shower before
Makes
going
sense.
to school. And before you go to bed, if you want to have a good night's sleep,
You
have to
shower as well.
So it becomes part and parcel of you.
That's very true. And like rubbing cream, like on your knees.
Also, cream.
Not
people
everyone
don't call it-
moisturizes.
No. Not even people call it cream. When I said,
Moisturizer.
like when you cream your legs, and people like, what? What's that? Like you put whipped cream on
cream.
your leg. Like you put whipped cream or like what's the other one? Like double cream on your legs. Oh, you mean moisturize? I was like,
Oh,
what?
you mean-
I remember the first time, not the first time I heard that word, but like the first time someone used it, I was like, what are you talking about? Like moisturize? Like I was in with water? Like, because moisture? No.
I think that used to confuse me a little bit because if you get moisturizer or cream, on the tub it says cream.
Exactly.
And it says
So why would
moisturizer, so why
exactly.
can you not
Exactly.
combine the two?
I think it's just cultural differences.
100%.
But when you mix the two cultures, it's
I also
nice.
think you should bear with your parents because, as you have already said, they came from somewhere to settle somewhere. Imagine you have to learn the culture, everything all over again. And for me, one thing that was really shocking to me, I was brought up looking at people's facial expression, mannerism, the way they move their body. In my culture specifically, you look at people, and we are taught to read people. So you come to a place where the way they move, you feel it's insulting.
Everything's read between the lines.
If you don't take time, you get
Yeah.
angry all the time. So you have to learn the people. Learn, okay, some of the language they use to you is insulting. It also happened to me when I got married because my husband's language is different from mine. And sometimes when he spoke to me, I got very angry because I thought he was being insulting or he's being disrespectful. Then my mom told me, hold on, he doesn't even understand your language very well. So you have to be patient and let him know you don't speak like this, you don't talk like this, you don't do this. So please bear with us. We are all learning. We've been learning more than you because you are used to this and we are still learning.
I was going to say, the parents have actually done all the hard work. And every child, appreciate your parents for where they are right now and where you are right now. Because honestly, even down to the biology and this, that, and the other, without your parents, you wouldn't be where you are. So always respect your parents. Honor your father and mother. That's the first commandment with a blessing. That's Exodus 20. And also Philippians 4:16, Philippians 6, Philippians 2.
And Exodus. In Exodus. It's an Exodus.
Scrambling out here. Galatians 6, verse 2. For honoring your father and mother. You said something else just then. Patience. I think the whole process and dynamic in a family is patience and learning. I think often people forget that everyone's growing, everyone's changing, everyone's evolving. So from someone going into year 3, that's new for them. So they're going to change, they're going to meet new people. Parents have to be able to adapt to that. Parents doing a new job or parents dealing with children who are now 16 and moody or whatever, they're having to adapt. So I think a lot of the family dynamic is changing, and patience. And patience is what? A fruit of the Spirit. And we've been talking a lot about fruits of the Spirit recently. And it's important to pray for them and to use God to help guide you as you nurture your family and as you're nurtured by your family members. And I think that's where we can stop today.
And the scripture. So it's Exodus 20:12. I think we'll end on that. So honor your father and mother, that your days may be long upon the land which the Lord your God is giving you. Yeah, I think that sums up what we're talking about really well. Your parents are important, and you need to respect them. And parents need to also respect their children as well. Don't provoke your children to anger. I think that's also that's also a bit that people tend to miss out. So, yeah. Parents, thank you. Children, thank you.
Thank you.
That's all we've got time for today.
Thank you for tuning in. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Amen.